the adjustments?
Yeah, all these have to be initialed.
Okay.
And we're gonna have a second copy.
Which copies you want to use
Well,
for
I
the
mean-
official record?
Whatever, I guess, whatever you've got, I'll make a cop, or I'll scratch it out on one of these copies and we can initial and stuff.
There's sound now.
Nice.
There's sound now.
Got it.
There's sound now.
This is a living document. It's probably going to be changed again soon, probably.
Maybe.
I'm having a little bit of trouble with my eyes, or it's my glasses or what, but all this reading. Good glory.
If you guys want to sign this and maybe make a copy of that after, I don't know. Either that, because there's a lot of changes on there.
I'm just doing the changes, you will make both and sign it, yeah. All right, so
While she's initialing, can you sign that?
So, is it discussion or debate? Okay. We need to initial that one, yeah. Suppose it is,
Steve, I muted my computer because it was playing sound back. Could you check and make sure the sound's still going if I'm muting my computer?
Yep.
Can you hear me now? Thank you.
Oh, okay. So, sorry.
Just have to initial and sign that one, and we both should be able to go over to signatures and their copy.
All right, ready to move on?
No.
Nope.
You missed one.
I did.
You guys missed on 1B where you took the trustee out.
I'll
Sorry.
sign that one. Oops. I did it. You guys did it, I guess.
He did it for this part, or that, the period. You still have, yeah.
Good eye. Now we're ready.
Now we're
Where's the second copy that's been corrected? Okay. We need it.
Okay,
There were both copies passed down to us.
Okay, well, we only signed off on one.
We
We're-
sent down 2 copies. Do we have both?
This one is not a completed copy.
Yeah,
This one's
the
not
changes
correct.
haven't been made, we'll have to make a copy of it.
They're not made on this one.
we had 2 copies,
You have 2 copies with the changes made?
yes.
We sent down both copies, but we received one to make a change to. Does the other copy need to be adjusted?
It
Yeah, 'cause this is
probably
not an
does.
adjusted
That
copy.
was one that he signed before making the changes.
Yes, there's not.
No one else is making changes. Did you make
The
changes to 2
adjusted one,
copies?
we need a second
We
one
had
that's been
2
adjusted.
copies and 2
We do
changes on
not have one.
both
You only
copies.
sent one.
We
Who
do
sent
not
it?
two.
have one down here.
No, you didn't.
Give her that, let her make a copy of it. There was two, because I did one and Nelson did one. So there were two,
Somewhere between here and there lives another copy.
yes.
This one was not marked on.
Okay.
We'll
You good?
find it.
This one was not marked on. I don't know.
Is it this one here?
I think this one could be destroyed.
Is that it? I'm sorry, guys.
Vision. That's all we have to do. Help you up there.
Do you want this one to
I
make
just
the
wanted to say
changes?
we forgot.
There we
I
go.
like
We
the
just
one
didn't
that I
initial.
wrote back for my records.
There you go. Right here.
Sorry
This
about
one
that.
is adjusted.
Too much
We just,
paper tonight.
didn't initial it.
All right,
All right.
and
And
then,
you'd like to make a trade?
yeah, I'd like the
All
other
right.
one back.
We would like the other copy back. That is for the trustee office.
Please. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're ready to move
All
on.
right. Item 2A, time for public comment on resolution 2026-02. It's for an additional appropriation for the, against the rainy day fund for 30 air packs. Again, I need to read on that. Should all have copies of it. I'll just say that, I've been on board since 23, and I know every fire chief we've had has talked about the need for more equipment, an engine, an ambulance and things. These are being addressed tonight, and the good thing is we're not taking out loans or borrowing money to buy these things. It's money in the funds. It's not appropriated for any use. It's just there to use. No impact on the taxpayers. So I think it's a good thing. Eric Brown.
And open up by saying, I want the board to consider needs versus wants tonight on all these resolutions. Priorities is what we need to be looking at. For the last 3.5 years, we've been looking at keeping firehouses open, keeping apparatus staffed as a priority. We're still not there. You still don't have fire stations. You still don't have fire stations open consistently. We're talking about 30 air packs here. How many firefighters do you have on duty? How many seats do you have on a fire truck? I don't think you'll find 30 anywhere. You have 18 seats on firefighting apparatus. $13,000 a pack. I think you can find them a whole lot cheaper than that. There's not been any presentation. I haven't seen any bids. Why do we need 30 air packs for 6 guys? We are at the lowest level of staffing this fire department's been in the last 10 years. Yeah, you can laugh, but guys, take a look at your apparatus. Your trustee's talking about selling your reserve engine. Why are we putting air packs on an engine that we're going to sell? So think about this before we make these purchases. $50,000 when you're going to sell something. I'm 100% for air packs. We need them. We've been talking about them for 2 years. We've been talking about staffing for 4 years. We haven't got there yet. And what is the sudden urge to spend $2 million prior to the end of a term? This has been on the agenda for 2 years. Why are we just now getting there 6 years before the guy leaves the office? Think about it, guys.
Thanks, Eric. Jordan Russell.
I'm going to open and kind of echo what Eric had said there. What I came up with was being generous, giving 8 training packs to the department so that they can allow out of service and or training needs. And I came up with 25 air packs. As he said, there's been no presentation on the technology we're using, the bottles we're using, the packs we're using. Scout makes a 15-year air bottle, and they make a 30-year bottle. Cost effectiveness, the 30-year bottle is much more cost effective over time. I do feel as it is a need we've had for a couple years, and we are going to take the rainy day fund from $445,000 tonight to $45,000. All at the end of the term, when we've known this being a problem way before that. Some of the quotes I have that were sent to the department, to the chief and or trustee are years in the past. So we've known this has been a problem enough to request quotes for it prior to 6 months to the end of the term. I do think these guys need air packs. They need all this equipment they're asking for. Absolutely. I think we just need to do it right. Where's the bids from multiple vendors? Where's the information on what we're getting? And where is the information on where all this is going to go? How it's going to be utilized, where it's going to be utilized. I do agree with Eric. Our staffing is very low, and it is the lowest I've ever seen. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. Chris Mills?
All right, a lot of what I have to say has already been said, but I would like to repeat it. What exactly are we buying? You know, have we demoed these packs? Have we got multiple bids? There's tons of different technology out there. Like Jordan said, there's a 30-year bottle versus a 15-year bottle. There's about $280 difference in those bottles. It's well worth buying a 30-year bottle, because then you're not doing this again in 15 years. What technologies are we getting in these packs? There's 1,000 options out there right now. Have we explored all those? Have we tested them? Have the guys demoed them? What exactly are we buying for this money? And is this what the rainy day fund is designed for? Not really. It's really for an emergency. So think about that before we approve this amount of money.
Thank you, Chris. Jessica Mills? Nancy Hoggett? Nancy's recovering from a broken hip 2 months ago. Replacement hip from being broken.
I get around pretty good, except when I sit for a while. Air packs is something I don't know a lot about, but I did look at the capital improvement plan and saw that the estimate for that was $250,000. So I wanted to know why there could be some difference. And I did some research. I looked at I don't know, NFPA, is that what it is? Standards, requirements, and I can't tell you specifically what I found, but for the air packs, I was seeing maybe $6,000 to $8,000 each. And then they also included cylinders, and that added a lot more to that. So I think for this document to show that it's for air packs, it's for much more than that. And maybe we should have it included, because the cylinders are even more than the air packs. So maybe to put that verbiage in there to show what it's for would explain why that there was a difference in the estimate. There in other pieces of equipment I don't know anything about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Mullen? Okay. Denise McClure?
So these guys have kind of stole my thunder, but you're the professionals, so I appreciate that.
So my first question is, how much was spent with Mooresville to replace packs 1 or 2 years ago?
How would we know that?
Because you approved it.
Mooresville?
When,
Don,
No, we
Just let us
bought packs from
Sorry.
Mooresville.
just speak to the board, Denise.
she's on the board.
Sorry.
It's not a discussion. So let's not break the rules. one of those questions, call them ahead of time for the meeting, get those answers.
I thought she was asking
She
how,
was.
something about Mooresville, not us buying from Mooresville. That's what
Her
I
time
wasn't
to
clear.
address the board,
Sorry.
tell us what she
I get
thinks
it.
about it, then we'll consider her information when we vote. That's what we agreed to do.
When does the current PACS expire? When does the current equipment expire? No answer. So as it was stated, the rainy day fund is supposed to be used for emergencies. Is the emergency because of the expirations? How many bids do we have? You're asking for $400,000, and that would almost tell me that you're going to limit your bids to under $400,000, which obviously would be smart, but having a fixed number without having somewhat knowledge of what's going on with the bidding process, your number should be based off of that, the bids. We didn't have for the concrete, so when we talk about rules, we need to apply them consistently.
Thank you, Denise. John? Trudy?
This has already been mentioned, this has come up before, and so I feel like we need it. We are out of debt, we can pay for this. Concerning the rainy day fund, I think it's very important that, like they say, if you don't use that money, then they can start taking a percentage of that out for roads. And I don't want to see our township dollars go for roads. I want to see, because I feel like the county should be, our taxes are going to the county, and they're upping our rates enough so they can pay for our roads. And I don't feel like we should have our township dollars go for the roads. So I do think it's very important that we make sure that we're fiscally responsible with making sure that we don't have balances in these accounts.
Thank you, Trudy. Megan?
Did you skip me? Did you skip me? Nelson, did you skip me?
Hmm?
Did you skip me? You didn't call me.
I'm sorry, Tina. I did.
Carry on, Tina. Go ahead, Megan, you're
I'll
up there.
get you next.
I just
Thank you for bringing
realized
that to my
that.
attention. Took my eyes for it.
So I guess one question, I know we can't ask a question, but we're sitting here at the end, too little too late, worrying about spending our rainy day fund, and we're gonna drop $400,000 without looking into it. I would hope that the chiefs were involved in the discussion of what air packs we need and what we're actually buying. But it would be great for taxpayers and residents alike to have transparency of what we're getting. You guys were worried about whether the residents could sway what the taxpayers are paying. I'm a taxpayer, I'm also a resident, but I want to know what my money is going towards. And I would really like to know why we can drop $400,000 without looking into it, but we went without a firehouse for almost a year. You want to talk about an emergency? You guys doubled the response time. And it was always, we don't have the money, we're working on it, it's kicked down the road.
As we go through this process, it's important that you speak to the board about the business at hand. So this is this resolution.
This is directly about the business at hand. It's about buying the air packs and the equipment that we need and finding out why we are suddenly draining our rainy day fund so that we stay out of debt, which is great. But when an emergency happens, what are we gonna do? Because if we're going from $450,000 to $50,000 and the proverbial S hits the fan, where's that money gonna come from? The definition of a rainy day fund is for an emergency. Our firehouse was shut down for almost a year and nothing was done. And now all of a sudden, we're gonna drop $400,000 without so much as a, hey, I mean, I like information. I would like to know what the firefighters are using. And we always want to talk about getting more firefighters to the township. We need to make sure that we're doing something that's desirable to firefighters. If we have a reputation of we just went and picked out the Costco version of the air pack to use up money that we're afraid someone's gonna take, that wouldn't be a desirable outcome to our firefighters. So I would appreciate before we drop $400,000 out of our rainy day fund and completely deplete it, that the taxpayers have information on what it is that we're actually buying so that we know what we're buying instead of just trusting that, stuff was done. It would be nice to know. If we're not worried about who can talk, we need to worry about what we're actually doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Tina, sorry about that.
I agree with the comments from other people about the rainy day used to be a savings account for emergencies, but with the rule change last year and having to have a capital improvement plan, if you don't have the money in rainy day designated for something to spend on over the next 5 years, then 30% of it will go to the county at the end of this year. So I don't really know if we can think of rainy day fund as a savings for emergencies when we have to have things specified in capital improvement. And I don't know if saving for emergency isn't something we can add in the capital improvement plan. That's a question for DLGF. So it may not be in this new thing with the township road and the township roads and infrastructure fund that we had to establish. I really don't want to see our money just going over there because then that has to go to roads or infrastructure and we cannot use it for fire equipment or any kind of emergency for the township. Thank you.
Thanks, Tina.
Thank you.
Larry, I didn't notice you're on there.
Yeah, I would like Steve or Jason to speak to the estimates on air pads.
So the reason, I'm gonna kick some of this to you also, by the way. The reason why we asked for 30 is roughly about 25 is the sweet spot. But about 21 gets us to where we're fully in service, right? That also accounts for the RIP bottles and then also a few extra on hand in case one does go down. And then we can take also a few and put them towards training. That way, if you guys go to live fire training, and I'm not talking 10 or 12 of them, I'm talking like 4 or 5 of them. That way, if you guys go to live fire training, something gets too hot, something gets broken, whatever, it's not coming from our front line. That's why we came up with 30. As far as the bids go, we got 2, 3.
We obtained 3 bids. One company stopped talking to us because their sales rep left the company and no one else decided to pick it up. The second bid came from another company and their numbers never matched, even though we kept saying, hey, it needs to be this. Even the big Scott rep kept telling them it needed to be the way that we were saying. They never adjusted it. And then the third one met everything that we sat down and said, hey, this is what we're looking at. And it met with what the Scott rep gave them. And that's where we got those 3 quotes from.
Okay, thank you. All right, board discussion on resolution 2026-02. You've heard all the comments. You can ask, I can authorize asking Larry questions if you thoroughly want me to.
Well, I wanted to ask Stevie some questions if we can before we start discussing. Okay.
Yes.
So I did text you or emailed you asking what was the price difference between the 15 and the 30-year bottles?
For the lifespan? He was the one that did a lot of the finer workings with that.
Because we're quoted on the quotes are 15-year, right?
I'd have to pull it back up again.
They don't say them on the quote.
I was gonna say, I don't think they're on the.
No.
actual
I think the
quote, so-
paper, the documents that I pulled off the part numbers, they were 15-year. Pretty certain.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull it back up here. So let's see. Let's see, do they have the multi-year? That may be something that we actually have to go back and call them for, because I don't know if it's actually on there or not.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah, it's not on the quotes. That's why I was asking.
Between the cost comparison between the 15 and the 30.
No, but here's the
Just quickly looking, said we're roughly about 150 to 200 some odd dollars.
For double the life.
Yeah, for double the life.
And I think that should be something that we go for. For what little difference that is, I would think the 30. My next question is, on these quotes, and I'm definitely not an expert on any of this equipment, but I did try to read and educate myself as best as I could. But, on one quote, on the Dingus fire quote, it's got a quantity of 30, but then they're saying 2 each per case. So is it 60 or 30
It's actually
each?
30. They do something weird on that.
Was that not for the spare bottle?
No,
It's
because I
for,
asked about it. It's a case and it comes with it, and they were supposed to take that off because it was the wrong color on it.
it's this one, Stevie.
Yeah, it was I guess a dingus thing.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure. It was like, are we getting 30 or are we getting 60?
That's
Because
why
it
the
says
Dingus
2
quote-
each per case and it's a quantity of 30.
That's why the Dingus quote is hard, because it doesn't match
Yeah, well,
what.
maybe we should have had somebody else ask for it instead of the person that it went to. That's my only input on that one. But
I do want to say one thing real quick too. I can't remember who asked it. 2023 was the year of expiration. The Mooresville stuff got us a Band-Aid.
that was Denise.
Perfect. And I think it was, I can go pull the receipt, but I think it was $3,000 for the used packs that we got.
What
Yeah.
year was that? Because I could find it.
I think we did it in 24.
We didn't buy it from Mooresville Fire or Mooresville
And we got it
Town.
from MES. It was actually packs
Okay.
from
Then I'll
Mooresville,
look.
but we got it from MES.
Okay, because I couldn't find it in a Mooresville.
Yeah, I think it was $3,000 if I remember right. There was a different fire chief at the time, but I do believe that's what he told me. And
I'll
I'm
look
glad
it
that
up.
we actually did that because that did give us a Band-Aid to get by for a few years.
Okay. Do you have anything else, Don? Do you have anything you want to say to the board?
Well, no, I mean, I was just trying to figure out, because the quotes are different, the quantities are different
Yeah, I
on the
saw that.
quotes. So it's really, I still
Well,
don't really know what you're getting.
You know, these are estimates and quotes, and the important thing to me is I know we need them, and we're going to possibly allocate a certain amount of money for them. And I just want to be sure that whatever we do is within these the money from these additional appropriations. I don't want to dig into any money that's tied to the budget,
Right.
And Eric mentioned staffing and everything. Well, this won't affect staffing. We've got the money in the budget for the staffing. If we're not fully staffed, it's for a different reason than spending this money.
And, I know we're not sitting here saying you can only purchase this, but there were questions, I still had a couple more questions I'd
Yeah,
like
go
to
ahead.
ask, because you guys have all these face masks, 45 face masks. What is the typical life on one of those? Because these have kind of a lifetime warranty, or it's actually, they word it different.
So your SCBA mask does not fall underneath the lifetime warranty.
It's, what is it they say? As long as you own it, something, but I
So
get, if
They
you
don't
break
apply
something.
that to the mask because the mask can fail sooner because of the environments. So masks, we will go through masks more quickly, especially if we're in high heat temperatures. The mask can fail after 500 degrees because that's all they're rated for.
How long have ours typically lasted? That's my question.
Well, we've had some where we've switched out the lens, replaced it with a new lens and so forth.
Yeah, well, you don't have to have the whole mask. You can get the replacement part.
Right. So with those, it depends on the mask. So
I think, if you want a direct number, I believe it's around 5 years. Okay, but again, it's all gonna depend on the usage. It's gonna depend on if it's used for a primary mask. Again, yep, we can replace a lot of things. We can replace, face pieces, nose pieces, things like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think it's 5 years. Helmets are 10.
Because, it's like, I'm sitting here looking at videos on how to maintain these masks,
Yep.
Because I didn't know anything about them,
But I
so.
will also tell you too, I've had a new mask given to me, and 2 months later I had to get a new one because I burned it up. So, but to give you a solid number, I believe it's 5. I will double check that for you and I will email that to you so you have an exact answer.
I was just curious because I thought that was an awful lot of masks to have sitting on a shelf for if
Yep.
something goes bad.
We try to give 1 employee each so that way we're not sharing, obviously, as well. And then we have some for replacements, some for multiple use, things like that.
Yeah, I think you have to have extras on hand. Same thing on a lot of these respirators and things like that. I think each truck should have extras on hand in case it fails, but, I was a little concerned on buying all these, and if it has a certain amount of warranty, that it's gonna just die on the shelf because they're not used. But anyway, I'm done with my questions. So,
Thanks. You have any, Matthew?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have a few questions that's going to apply to everything being asked for tonight. I can ask them individually, but in general, can we clarify what approval, or if we were to approve any of these appropriation actually means? Like, are we approving the additional appropriations, or are we also approving like the specific vendors, the specific quotes?
We're just approving the additional appropriations.
That's my understanding, but just to clarify, so everybody knows what we're actually voting for.
Once they get the money, that's why I asked them to add in what these appropriations are for now.
Mhm.
Now, the additional appropriations state what they're for, so this, for O2, it's gonna have to be used to purchase this equipment, okay? The other ones, whatever they state, it doesn't mean that they have to stay with that vendor. Because keep in mind, those are quotes and things, and they have some guarantees that they'll honor that for a certain amount of time. They may find a better deal from another vendor, and I kind of trust the fire chief and trustee to do due diligence and get us the best deal out there. The main thing I want to say to them is that just keep it within this money we're appropriating. Don't use any money out of any of the funds that are tied to the budget. Money in the funds is tied to the budget.
Yeah, that was a backup that if we approved, say, for example, 400,000, then that's your top dollar.
That's it, yeah.
After appropriation, assuming that we vote to appropriate money, like what purchase process remains before the township's committed to making that purchase? Like, will they be tied to actual, like, more legitimate final written quotes or any other purchasing process?
Maybe I won't speak up, but if you approve these resolutions, they get uploaded, the the DLGF. And then DLGF will go through the process of looking at the request for appropriation, looking at our finances, and say yes or no. So just because you sign this doesn't mean DLGF will say we can get that much money. So, but yeah, this is kind of like a maximum amount that we would spend in that category for these items. It's not necessarily the quoted price. And it doesn't mean that because you sign this, that we're going to spend that money, because we have to wait for DLGF to approve it and say how much we can spend.
The amounts requested, again, I can go one by one, but these really are applying to everything.
Yeah, sure.
The amounts that's requested, is there like some type of like actual plan, a calculation that was used to, like, say the quotes for 38,000, we're asking for 4. Was there a calculation or something that was used to plan ahead, or did we just round them up to the next number that had a bunch of zeros? Because for every single line
You
item,
can
I
answer
have a
that, Larry, if
percent
you want to try to
difference.
answer that.
Furthermore, just to help answer that, I'm just saying, like, I've looked for every one of these numbers and see like one's 4%, one's 15%, one's actually negative. So I'm just wondering like what, yeah.
Okay, for example, on this was based on quotes that we got, okay? Anytime you're dealing with these manufacturers, you can have add-ons or different additional costs that you're not aware of. For example, there could be shipping and handling on this. When you buy a truck, there could be additional things that happen to that truck. For example, you need to stripe it and number it. So based on the number, and the same thing with the men's quarters, we actually have estimates on that. But as you know, in building, sometimes there's a few unseen costs, and that's what we went off.
And I agree that like what you get the quote for, there may be some hidden costs, but my question is actually like what was used to determine the difference between what's asked and the quote, because they're all over the board. One of them we'll get to in another resolution. It's negative. It's like you're asking for less money than your quote.
There was no percentage put to it.
Okay, just round it up to the one that has the number of zeros closest up, I guess.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And then, obviously,
All
It doesn't
right.
mean they're gonna spend
like I said,
that full
obviously,
amount.
what's not spent.
But if
will
there's
go
only a
back.
2% on one of these, then they only have a 2% room for error to accommodate for all those issues. So I just want to make sure we have enough room for the error, because if I approve something that only has 2% adjustment and something happens, then that's why I make sure there's more thought into it than just rounding up to a number.
They're not gonna know until they actually order it.
But they're asking for a specific maximum amount, so they should know a general amount, percentage markup that it could be. You don't know the exact, but that answers that question. So specifically to the resolution, the quotes, the two quotes are not comparable. There's numbers that are different all over the board. One of them includes 15 more 45-minute cylinders compared to the other. Some of the, on the Dingus quote, some of those have different safety requirements or features compared to the next. Like some of them are EBSS and some of them are not. So I mean, the two quotes that we're looking and comparing, they're not comparable.
I think the numbers are the same, the part numbers for Scott and stuff, because that's how I looked them up.
I'm talking about like number of packs and such. Like
Oh, yeah.
one has like
The
30. one has-
quantity
Yeah,
is
quantities are
different,
different.
but the items are the same, except for there are a few extra ones that they're ordering of different things.
If you look at the Scott or the MES one, it's broken down because there's some that are getting certain equipment, whereas others aren't, that aren't needed for the goals and so forth. So that's why there's difference in that.
So one has 15 additional regulators, the other doesn't. And that's part of that mixed configuration, like having a different config, I guess is what I'm
Now,
trying to clarify.
regulator wise, we should be getting one regulator for every air pack. And I think it was
Which quote meets the actual configuration that we want, since the numbers aren't the same? Like which one are we really considering?
MES met everything that was given.
said the expiration was in 2023, but we were able to buy some time. Not how you said it, but specifically, yeah, we were able to like get a Band-Aid for some time. So is this an emergency purchase or something to plan for? Like the capital improvement plan said this would be a 2027 purchase. We've needed it for years, I know. I'm not questioning whether we need it next year, but all of these requests that also looked at our capital improvement plan that we had just approved to plan out number of years versus where we are today on this request for everything all at once.
The air packs for the guys, I'm not saying that it is a dire emergency like we have to have tomorrow. We're not gonna be able to function, but I mean, we're getting into the very nitty gritty of it. It's definitely a higher priority.
Capital improvement didn't need the 250,000 was expected, and we're up to 400. I mean, I see the quotes, there's more than 250. But it was just a few months ago for 250. Which part was off so much? Did we not plan?
I know about the capital improvement. When that came out, they gave us a very short time frame to submit something to them. And I think trustee and the fire chief just tried to get some things out there to protect our money and our funds and show that they knew what they needed, and it may not have been done perfectly, but they got some things out there because you don't have to follow your capital improvement plan. You just have to have something out there that shows that money's committed to something. When it comes down to actually spending it, you can spend it on something different. I don't think they hold you to buying specifically what's in there. It's just kind of placeholder for the money. So, it's not done perfectly, but it's just new and had to do something as quickly as we could to protect our 30% of our investment, taxpayer investment.
So what technology are we getting? Have we done the demo? Have we looked at it? Are we able to see, like with a firefighter, if they're inside of a building, can we see like how much oxygen is in there? Can we send them alerts? Can we tell them to evacuate? Because I know that's a part of air packs. Today's air packs.
So
do these quotes include that technology?
That is one, I can't remember what that's called. Chief Mills, I know you're here. What's that called that Scott has? You guys have? Sims 2. Yeah, that technology obviously was discussed, but it was not put in the quote. I'm gonna kick it to you because you dealt with a lot of the air pack stuff.
We looked at it with the technology and stuff for that, and being able to actually run something like that. If you have Chief Mills there, or if we were there, sure, we can run it. But if we're not there, that technology might not be there for the incident commander to even make it usable.
Right, but so what about just the technology as a whole? I guess is what he's asking too.
Well, and the overall technology, everything that went into this is the most current technology for air packs. All these packs are their newest series of packs that meet the NFPA that is currently in place, as well as all of them have upgraded features that make less wear and tear. So current packs, we have it to where you actually have to screw on to the bottle, and those are known to, over time, the threads get cross-threaded, things like that. It's expensive to repair those valves. Whereas these are the quick connects, so they're easier to pop in, pop out, especially on frozen nights. They're easier to get off. You don't have to deal with the threads. So the technology's there. Nothing that we're looking at is subpar to anything. It is the basic Scott air pack for firefighting that meets the needs of the firefighters.
Would 400,000 be able to allow us to consider that type of safety feature to be able to see like air pack pressure? If somebody stopped for 30 seconds, it actually sends an alarm. Very
that specific
life-saving.
That specific technology, yeah. Because I will also tell you too, it is cheaper to go for it now than it would be later on down the road. But
it's like $600, $700 to add it on later, I think it's about 70 to 80
Yeah.
per unit or so.
75, something like that.
With the
But
module you have to buy it.
And then as far as like the stopping and stuff, yeah, it's already got the pass device on, but specifically to that technology that you're talking about, yes, we, with the 400,000, we could absolutely get that integrated in.
No doubt though, we're buying brand new packs. It's going to have, you know, latest like
Yeah.
features that it has, whatever we purchase. I am asking like, does it have that additional? And I know.
You also asked about demos,
Yes.
both reps, I believe. There was a couple rounds of them where they came in, showed the packs, discussed it with, a small handful of guys, certainly, but, they did bring them in and show them to us and things like that.
Last question to this, as far as that rainy day fund, it does drop it 90%, like down to 45,000. Though we have a large 450,000 that we don't earmark, you know, then it's going to roads and such. But then like 45,000 for an emergency. So do we have a plan to make it more than 45,000? How so? What is that plan?
You got anything on that, Larry? Building the rainy
As we-
day fund back
As we
up?
go through this, you'll find that there's plenty of money left over, and I mean plenty. And the board always has the option, when you do the budget, to take a percentage and put it back in the rainy day fund. So that is an option for the board.
Why the rainy day fund recommended source instead of like the Cume Fire or another funding method like a loan?
Because we have the cash.
Well, first off, we're not looking to do a loan because we do have the money available to us, and we don't see the need to spend money on interest. And second of all, we are taking money out of other funds, but we're trying, again, to protect that money from going to roads and so forth.
For this specific purchase, why the rainy day fund and not another fund, or why not the, well, you said the loan, we don't want the interest. I got the loan part of it.
Well, as far as the CUME goes, you could not take an additional 400,000 out of the CUME fund with what we're asking for out of the CUME fund. That's not doable.
I'm just trying to give a justification on why it's eating up 90% of the fund real quick. Okay. Now, both of those quotes are expired, but the chief did verify with the vendors that they would approve those two quotes that are expired. So he sent the rewriting on that. I just want
Yeah.
the record to show that part,
Yeah.
in case there was
I
concern
asked
there.
him about it.
Yeah. That's enough, and that's all the questions I have at this point for this resolution.
Mr. Chairman, what was the date that was advertised for the bid process? When was that advertised
Advertised for
for the bids?
It was
Bids on
2 weeks
what?
ago from today.
For the bids
what?
on the air packs?
We haven't done any bids on your pack.
Oh, so it's not a legal process?
It's a legal process. We got estimates, not bids.
This appropriation was posted on DLGF June 17th. That's the 2 week.
And the quotes are not for the same spec? That's what we heard?
Okay,
There's a
Board.
process we follow. I'm just making sure we're following it.
Of course.
do I have a motion on
I'll make a
resolution
motion.
2026-02?
I'll make a motion.
Any stipulations or anything? Do I
100,000.
have a second?
Do I need to mention typos on the resolution before this, or? It's very minor,
Okay, go ahead and mention.
super minor, just our totals on all of them, just have a period instead of a comma.
Yeah,
I'm bringing it up now, I don't know if I need to do that before we make the decision and approve it all the way.
after we approve it, it's done, so you need to do it now, will initially, just go ahead and mark them up. And we'll 3 initially.
So on this form, you write in the amount that you agree to appropriate, and then you put it in the total.
But you gotta fix the total for each one of them, because they all show $400.
Okay,
Or they all show like, instead of a comma, they're not showing hundreds of thousands, they're only showing like $400.
okay.
So it's very minor.
So it shows 400,000.
Well,
But
part of
Yeah,
it.
needs to be done
it's
right.
just on the second page.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
right on
like
the
that
front.
all.
It was right on the front.
So we make that adjustment and I just don't want to total show $400 for this. So we have a first, a motion,
I
correct?
made the
You
motion.
made the motion,
Looking for a second,
correct.
but we held it off because we're gonna make these changes.
So does that change?
That's it. It's,
That's the only change I had.
We didn't get a second, that motion will die, and we'll get a new motion with the changes penciled in.
so I made the motion. This.
But no one
is there a
seconded.
Second.
Correct.
So the motion dies.
Can't you second it?
We're gonna make changes to it.
Oh, all right.
We're gonna pencil the changes, initial them, and then we'll get a new motion.
Oh, all right.
A motion with
So
the,
he
pencil.
should have made the motion to make the,
yeah,
add the
yeah.
comments.
Yeah, no
that
one
here.
seconded
Motion was already out there. That's
so
why
the
I did
motion
it.
died.
Okay. All right,
So go ahead and correct them, the periods,
okay.
and then we'll initial them.
Use my copy.
Yeah, I got one.
You got it.
It's fine. So you want
Yeah, just,
just initial? I guess you.
where you seeing the period?
It's on the second sheet,
The
or the
total, I
second side.
don't want,
Of that one.
it wouldn't stay, but I just don't want the total to say 400 and 100 and all that.
Yeah, if I'd have noticed and looked at those, I would have seen it before the meeting.
So by initial
It could have
that.
been easily corrected.
This was like last, right here. So,
All right,
this
so,
initial, little change.
Need one more copy. With that done.
Okay.
Good eye, Matthew.
And there's that. These are our copies.
You get one for them?
well, do
We
we,
made the adjustment. I
we
don't
made
know.
the adjustment.
Yeah.
Do we
Okay,
need,
I'll make a motion to accept resolution 2023-02, 2026-02 with the changes penciled in.
okay, I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passed 3-2, 3-0.
Let's see.
Oops.
I don't think he has to sign it. I think Dawn has to sign as the secretary of the body.
Do what?
I'm sorry.
Dawn needs to sign these, secretary of the body.
I'm evidently seen those ones before, so. No, whatever. Mary doesn't have to sign anything. So I get to keep one of these, right?
Correct. Well, you want Larry to sign?
It doesn't have his,
That's not.
it
that's
doesn't
not
have his
mine.
signature for him, should it?
This is the form the DLGF sent out to use for resolution, so I don't know. The other
Okay.
example I had, the trustee didn't sign it either. It was the secretary of the
Okay.
board.
I just wanted to double
Next.
check.
Next up is resolution 2026-03. This is $800,000 for a new engine. We'll hear a public debate on that. Eric?
Same comment as before, priorities of staffing. You can have as many new pieces of apparatus as you want. If you don't have anybody put on them, it doesn't do you any good. I'm all in favor of the new engine, have been for 10 years, trying to get it out of somebody here on board for 10 years, trying to get apparatus. We've got a Band-Aid engine a couple of years ago. How much did we spend on that? We could have bought this new engine then, instead of waiting until the last 6 months of the term here. Madison Township's a little unique compared to others. You can't go out and buy a cookie cutter engine for $800,000. I think this number is probably a little thin to get what you're going to need here in Madison Township. I support these guys in an engine. I don't think this is enough money. I'll definitely disagree with you on the air packs. In fact, Chief Hartsock referenced Chief Mills. You just blindly approved $400,000 for air packs. Chief Mills just bought the same thing that they're proposing, that you approved $400,000 of my taxpayer dollar for. He just paid $250,000 for the same thing. So keep that in mind when you're approving money, taxpayers' money. There's a process to be followed here. There's a spec committee. When somebody wants to do business with you, they have to match what I write in a spec. If I want yellow air packs with black mask with a tag on it on this right side, they have to match that exact language. They can't come in here with deviations on that and get approval. It has to be the exact bid. Everybody has to be on the exact same page to match those numbers. You can't just blindly approve 4 or 5 different versions of a bid. And Stevie knows better than that. That should have been something that was presented to you guys way ahead of time before we just blindly approved $400,000. $800,000, I don't think is going to be enough for an engine for Madison Township, unless you're talking about a cookie cutter engine. A demo engine, you'd be lucky to find what we need here as far as specifications. We don't have fire hydrants every 500 foot. So you're going to need a hose bed for 1,000 gallons or 1,000 foot of 5-inch. You're going to need a 1,000-gallon tank. You're going to need a front end tank. I'm sure these guys probably know that. But 800,000 right now is pretty thin. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm disappointing you. I'm sure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric. Jordan?
Yeah, so to touch on what he was talking about, $772,762 is your discounted price of the bid for the engine that they are looking at that went to Trustee Ellis. I have the full spec sheet here. It is a 1,000-gallon tank. It is a 1,500-gallon per minute pump, and it does have a hose bed to hold 5 inches. So it is an engine that would fit our needs to a degree. I do think there is still some adjusting that we could do, and I think that maybe we need to do our due diligence and look at all aspects of that. I want to touch base real quick before I step down out of this. It is my understanding that this is just the beginning, as anything over $300,000 has to go to a request for bid or request for proposal to a bidding process, unless you're using the state approved bid system. Also, I did want to touch in regard to this as a resident. You're paying local income tax, and if I'm not mistaken, that local income tax is going to go to what's paying for this engine. Therefore, as a resident, I may not pay property tax, but I do pay local income tax, and that's the tax you're going to use for this as well as other things. So I do feel like residents are paying their taxes and should have an opinion on how they're getting spent. As far as if far as anything else, that's what I have. I think this apparatus needs to be put on a responsible rotation. And I think that responsible rotation can be done without draining our resources, and we can do that through a loan, whether it be low interest or no interest. I would like to know if we've looked into that. Have we looked into that? Have we researched that? Is that here to be proposed? So that's all I have. I do appreciate your time, and thank you.
Thank you. Chris Mills?
You guys need to let me go first because they stole my thunder. But first off, I'd like to say I support these guys. They need these. They need the air packs. I just hope we buy the right thing. As far as the engine, like Jordan said, that's not enough money. You need to double that, or you're not going to get what you're going to need. We're going to be back here in 2 years replacing that truck again because you're going to get exactly what you paid for. I got a brand new tanker on order. $710,000 is what that truck costs, and it's nothing fancy. It hauls water, and you're talking about an engine. You guys do the math. You're not going to get much for that. You might get a tanker, but you're not going to get an engine. There are loans out there. I just did one, 0%. Look into it. You can get it, especially if you got money in the bank. They'll loan you money at 0%. So that's an option. Instead of depleting all of our accounts, let's get some loans because they will loan you money at 0%. I just did it.
Thank you. Jessica Mills? Nancy Hoggett?
I pass.
John Mullen? Denise McClure?
No, thank you.
John? Tina?
No, thank you.
Trudy?
Just want to say
Can you
about
speak into the microphone?
completely on our money. When Larry took over, we had only about $1 million in the bank, just slightly over that. And he was able to run everything for, that entire year. And wasn't much, I agree, but they left us less than 500,000 in the fire fund. And anyway, we've paid off a lot of debt. We're out of debt, which I think is a wonderful thing.
What's this have to do with the engine?
And now we have money that we can spend for.
What's this have to do with the engine?
Yeah, can we?
Pardon me?
What's this have to do with the engine?
I just said.
What did everybody else do?
Are you leading up to say something?
I just
She
said we
just
have
did.
money now
Huh?
to spend. I just said we had money now to spend for an engine. Is that,
Just telling the board that we have the money to buy this.
yes, we have the money.
Okay.
All right.
All right, that's what I thought you were saying, but,
So what I was saying is that we have saved and now we have the money to purchase this engine.
yeah, you said some other verbiage in there about, accolades for Larry. Try to leave those out if you could.
What I'm saying is we have money in the accounts to purchase the engine, which I think is wonderful. And like I said, our township is out of debt, which is good. And again, the same thing that was brought up before, if we don't use our monies, we will have to spend the monies that will have to go to the
We'll get to the
road
engine.
funds. So that is something always to consider.
Yeah. Thanks, Trudy. Megan?
I I have a point of information question, I guess, for Tina. You had mentioned with this appropriations, is there a time, like, we're talking about, we don't want to lose the 30% or whatever that number is of like the money goes to the roads or whatever. Is this whole process of appropriations, we're just saying, hey, we think we're gonna use this money for the engine, for the air pack, for all of it? Like, I'm just trying to understand as a taxpayer, like, are we earmarking the money, and as long as it's earmarked, they can't touch it? Or kind of what that
Megan?
process?
I'm gonna allow that, if we can do that real quick. You're speaking to the board about this resolution. If you want that kind of education, give her a call, go into her office. I'm sure she'll meet with you tomorrow or whenever she's there. Cause that gets pretty involved.
Well, I'm just thinking, if we're sitting here figuring
No,
out what is
we
this.
don't, but we don't have time for those kind of
All right,
discussions. Board
So if we're worried about losing money on the truck and the amount of money we need, can we pause the appropriation? Or I recommend pausing the appropriation and looking into a 0%. If there's a loan for 0%, then we can make money by investing it and not just draining our money. So I would ask that we pause the appropriation for $800,000 until we look at loans, so we aren't draining our funds.
Okay.
And so our taxpayers
Thank you.
know what we're doing.
Thank you. Larry, you want to speak?
Nope.
All right, board discussion. You know, I like to think that our fire chief and our trustee have done their due diligence, but you know, we've heard a lot of people, whether the fire departments here speak and former firemen speak about it's not enough money. I'm certainly no expert on what this stuff costs. I'd be, I guess, pretty surprised if I found out that Stevie, you know, said we put the work into this and said we can buy this for this price and get a quote. That, you know, hopefully he's not buying substandard equipment like someone said. Scary stuff. I don't know. What do you think, Matthew?
I think we just gave more of a buffer for air packs than they're asking for the quotes from the engine. Like there's only like $14,000 buffer. If we approved $400,000 for this, when we just gave them $20,000 buffer for air packs. So if we approve 400, or what is it, 800, sorry, I apologize. We approve that, then there's really not much room for error there for all of those things that we were talking about planning ahead for. So I think we just rounded up 785,000 to 800. So to that, I'm concerned that it's not enough, just to that alone. I have to look at advantages and disadvantages of quotes and such, and one of the only advantages that stuck out to me that was big, like that we can get this pumper in 60 days. But is our current apparatus at that point where it's going to fall apart in 60, we have to like rush and jump on this? Or is this is an engine, it's a pumper engine? Yeah, because there's all different types of engines, yeah. So this pumper engine, if we found a quote that was comparable, that had a lot of better options, but it's still within range, would our engine sustain the build life cycle? Or is it going to, are we worried that the wheels are going to fall off in 60 and we have to jump on this fast? That's why the urgency, but I see it as a positive. If we were to jump on this, we can get it in 60. But there, just quick Google and other research, it shows, I mean, there's comparable costs, but better quality and other options. I mean, it's like going car shopping, there's always bells and whistles to look at, I know. I just hope that we don't go for it and appropriate 800 and we find out that $15,000 buffer wasn't enough, is a concern that I have. Have we looked at the 0% interest loans? Because I know that with the loans, that seems to be the only issue that's been raised by the trustee's office, is that we don't want to pay interest. Well, with 0% interest, I think we're back in the game. Have we looked at 0% interest loans?
Oh, I would have never thought there was 0% interest loans on this kind of money, quite frankly.
Yeah,
I would want to look into it.
yeah.
Real deep.
There are on the different, like there's even,
Where did you find that the 0%? Where did you find it on the equipment that you're saying it's 0% loans for?
Where did I find their 0% loans?
Yeah, on this type of equipment. What companies or whatever did you find that offer that?
I did the same amount of research. It seems that the office, the trustee office, did. Like, I didn't look up to where the 0%. I was asking if they have done their due diligence to look at that.
I just answered your question.
Yeah, wasn't aware that that even existed.
Correct.
So we potentially, if we're not aware, we can't make that choice. I understand that. So, you know, we have the funds in there. That is a great thing to be able to purchase something, but do we have the right amount requested? That's a concern that I have. We don't have much room there. It seems like for all of the quotes, there was no concern on like doing the math to figure out how much room we need for error. It's just, again, rounded up to that nearest $0. That was confirmed earlier. Is there anything specific to these builds that's unique to our township and our needs that other manufacturers don't offer?
I couldn't answer that because
Are you?
Yeah.
No, I mean, from my knowledge was it, I mean, any manufacturer, you go ask them and say, hey, I want a 5-inch intake on the front that's 10 feet long or whatever. I mean, well, I understand they can all do it, yes.
The only quotes that we're going off of are these spouts. I don't see, was it selected based on like just the price and its time, or is it the features? Is it the warranty, service support, the expected lifespan, the quality? What is it about this only one that we see
what was the other?
that kept the others out
What was
of
the other
our
brand?
consideration?
Spencer. We looked at Spencer also.
Could we look at Spencer also? Is that something I could compare to know, like, what am I comparing it to? And
Go on their website. Look, we have an actual estimate from Spencer.
well, my goal is that my job is to like vote upon like the things that your office brings across based on the education you're providing me and such. So like, I'm not going to bring more quotes and do that job. I'm expecting you to educate us and tell us what we need, why, all of that. And frankly, I mean, a lot of these quotes are coming in just days ago.
Well,
So we're having to rush and do a lot of work, and I've come up with a lot. I have done my work. And it seems like I'm taking more into consideration for the future than what has been considered for, especially if I'm saying it's only $15,000 from what they're asking for compared to the one engine quote.
If I may,
Please.
you would probably get a lot more answers if you hadn't run the sales rep off that just left.
How did I run the sales rep off?
I'm not
Please
talking about you
explain.
specifically.
Okay. Who did that?
Well, from the comments that I've heard from this.
Sales rep's still in here.
Where's he at?
Right there.
Okay,
So,
Yeah, he goes to Europe. And he'd probably like to talk to you about it.
sorry if I ran you off, sir.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I mistook you for somebody
I
else.
should've told you.
I made a mistake. I own it.
It's okay.
Try to be prepared.
He'd probably educate you on the bid process.
Yeah, because I'm not getting very well educated from the office. I'm trying to find out more in a short amount of time for something that we know we've needed for a long time, but we're doing it all at once. So it is a whole lot. That's why we're still here at 9 o'clock and we have one more resolution to go, because we're doing it all at once.
Is there something you want to ask the sales rep since he's here?
Yeah, could you educate us on what's happening here and what process is going through? Like, why is it your engine, I guess, compared to others? We've only had one engine. I don't know if you can answer these questions. It's a matter of the people shopping.
Well, the questions you're asking have a lot to do with the fire department. What I have to offer is a truck, again, available in 60 days. The pricing on it is good. It's very good pricing. The tanker that you referred to earlier, I have no idea. I priced the tanker out at $700,000 the other day too. But this engine is also an engine that's been, Edinburgh uses this. Dayton, Ohio has 7 or 8 of these in service, almost identical to this. This is not, this is a company who has built, call it a cookie cutter. You could call it that, that's fine. And we have limited spec. This is what we have to offer. It's a good basic truck. It takes care of everything you need on there. I think it has, all the options that was mentioned earlier on is on this truck. We offer the service. We're close by. It's a Spartan chassis, which is a well-known chassis, probably one of the biggest producers in the world. The pump is a Hale, which is that. The body was made by a company named Bulldog, who used to do Camby, and that was a major manufacturer. There's a quality to this truck. Now, it is less money. And part of the issue right now is Cummins is in pretty much any engine that's built today. And any truck that's in the fire service has to use a Cummins because of the programming. We are offering an L9 engine, which is being phased out into an X10. Now, the next trucks that we have come in, this is the last one we have with this configuration. The next one showing up will be in the fourth quarter of this year, and it's going to run us about $80,000 more because of the engine that we have to put in it. So, yeah, it's a really good buy on this truck. Now, as far as what you've looked at, I know that they've looked at other manufacturers before. I think they've called around and done some. We've had some discussions. That's not anything I can answer to.
Right.
But
I appreciate
does that answer what
you're able to answer? Absolutely. Yeah. I appreciate that. And also know like Decatur has one for sale that they don't like. You know, I mean, it's every department's going to like what I was talking in general is that like Decatur also has one that they're trying to get rid of, that they're trying to get out of. Like every department's going to like or dislike what they have. And I don't mean that towards you, sir. I'm trying to just
I didn't heard that.
move further into the conversation. I looked at it too.
Yeah, Edinburgh has one too that they love.
Yeah. So, and I'm not trying to I just want to see more comparison other than just one pumper that does definitely says demo stock model, maybe a couple extras here, but I want to make sure that the firefighters get what they need and not just have a $15,000 buffer in case we run out of the $800,000 cheapest model that we can possibly get in a short amount of time. 60 days would be nice if we need one in 60 days. But I think, will the apparatus live more than 60 days if we allowed one to be built is a question I have.
Yeah, frankly, yes, 100%. But again, it's like, what's that time frame, right? I mean, if we put it off till, whenever, right? And they tell us, hey, it's a 2-year build time, 3-year build time, or even this like specific truck, we get into the fourth quarter and it's $80,000 more or whatever. There's a bunch of variables. And then obviously I will tell you, I do like this truck. Personally, I will tell you, I like the options, and I'll kind of explain that real quick. I won't go on. I do like that it is a low hose bed. That's one thing all of us love. I like the fact that it's 1,000 gallons. I like the fact the pump capacity. I like its wire. I mean, I even got into wiring, which is a multiplex wiring. The specific one, because he sent us two, that I was looking at with the catwalk compared to the side mount, has the front intake, which is it's where you stand and pump instead of pumping off the side of the truck.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a bigger wheelbase than the side mount. But it also has the front intake to give us more options to draft, because like what Eric was saying, that we are a unique spot where we don't have hydrants, so we're going to have to draft. In a perfect world, I'd be able to draft off all 4 sides, but that's another subject for another day. But one of the 2 trucks that we do have from Fouts with the catwalk, I do like. I think it would be good for our firemen. And again, sitting in my seat, I would obviously like to get everything now, right? Instead of waiting. Because again, there's a bunch of different variables. And again, but I will tell you on the other hand, I would love to have, $2 million to go design the perfect fire truck for this township. But again, we got to have the money for it, and we got to be able to have
of wants and
right.
needs, yeah.
2 to 3 years. So I've been here for almost 15 years plus. This engine that I'm looking at will absolutely do us. But again, I'm understanding all the comments and conversations. So
Well, I'm reaching that is the last question that I have, but in the end, my concern is that there's just not much buffer to work with. So
for sure.
You got anything, Don?
I'm sorry.
Does this have a custom chassis on it?
As far as like the wheels underneath, you mean? Or
Yes.
Yes. Yep. The cab over concept, yes.
And is that like why versus a commercial?
Safety, turning radius. I mean, there's accessibility room inside the cab, storage space. There's a bunch. We haven't been at commercial cabs and besides our Taker, but again, it's a different truck, right? I do also want to throw this out there too. We were talking about like replacement, things like that. I absolutely agree that we need to look at apparatus replacement as well. Our department, again, is a unique department where we're not, doing 10,000 runs a year, but we're also not doing only 100 runs a year. So we do need to find a sweet spot of the rotation and obviously staying ahead of the curve too with the delay in manufacture times. So with the stipulation of, hey, like, let's get this done, let's get it done this year, and with what best fits Madison Township, that's why we picked the Faust. We did again. We looked at E1s in 2023. We looked at a Spencer at the beginning of this year. Spencer we really liked too, which it also had a spark chassis, if I remember correctly, right? That's what I thought. But again, it's ultimately up to you guys, but I do like the Spouse Brothers.
I did believe that you had looked at others. Though I may have seen. I just feel better knowing that you've ruled some things out already.
Yes.
I wouldn't doubt that you would.
Yeah, and I wanted to say that out
But
loud
it's
because
good
I
to
could tell
hear it
that
out
there was
loud, right? Thank you.
open-ended questions for sure.
Thank
Yep.
you.
That if we, Darius, if we did for some unseen reason came up short, do we have the option of getting a small loan and get deferred payment until the new budget year?
You can also do another additional appropriation if you needed to just offset it, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would probably take the money out of another fund, depending on what the size is. Now, what we could do, if the board would like, we could go ahead and look into 0% interest loans.
Look into what?
0% interest loans.
Yeah.
Look into them and see what we got before we purchase anything.
Yeah, I mean, if we had to do this in the next month or two, I mean, we don't have money in the budget, so we'd have to appropriate money out somewhere to make the payments until the new budget year next year. Is that how it works? Okay, thank you. That's all I got. Got a motion on the resolution 2026-03.
What are your thoughts about looking into a 0%?
Right now, we don't need it. We don't think we got, sales rep says the price is good. I mean,
yeah,
I'm just saying worst case scenario.
What's the difference between paying cash for it today because we have it versus
$800,000 in the interest that sits in the bank to us, as opposed to giving up all your money right now?
Well,
is the consideration. A lot of money makes you a lot of money in interest. That's why when I bought my 0% interest Jeep, I'm not paying that off because I get the interest. That's what I mean by that.
I mean, that could be looked into, but, we may be on short fuse here. I mean, he's got an engine that, we can get in 60 days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much time this would take to try to secure this loan and all that. And, we lose that and end up paying a lot more and having a much longer wait time for something that supposedly we desperately need. I mean, that concerns me.
We have needed it for a long time. We're just doing it all at once. So if we've needed it so badly, we would have done this in the past when we brought it up before.
no,
We're making a point of doing it all at once, and there's a reason for it, but I don't know what it is.
no, he has always stated, as soon as that ladder truck was paid off, we were getting new equipment. It got paid off in December. I don't know where you think that this is going.
It was going until September, until now we're here. And just about a month ago, we started racing to do this is all. But that's not helping me make a vote.
But
Moving
anyway,
along. If,
I'll make a motion to go forward.
I'll say that. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
nay,
Okay, motion passed 2-1. All right. Moving right along. Additional appropriation, resolution 2026-04 for an additional appropriation
Excuse
for,
me, on the previous one, Nelson, you didn't check yet A or nay on that one. Did you check it? I don't know how you voted. Make sure you're checking the boxes appropriately.
We did them on the.
what am I saying, A or nay about?
On the left-hand column there,
Yeah,
A or nay.
oh, that I voted, oh, that's how I voted,
Yes.
okay.
I think
All right.
I said it for all of them. I think it does.
Yeah, you're right.
You have the same issue on,
Yeah.
you have the same issue on this one. I don't know if you mentioned it, on the backside. It said
When I had mentioned it, I said it's gonna be for all of them. I don't know if we need
You
to,
still need to sign off.
we do need, so we've, changed it in initial. I didn't know if we needed to make it part of that motion. But you're right, like it's gonna be on all three of them.
Just your copy.
This is what we
Oh, you
just
still have to
signed,
sign it.
so you'll need to sign
Oh, I
it.
didn't sign that. Did I sign that one?
Yes.
Okay, I just didn't. I didn't say yay.
Just make sure on Don's copy of that one that you
That
check
one
the
was my
boxes.
copy.
That's the one I have.
That's the one I just set up there. Well,
This is the number one,
Back
number
to that
two.
comma.
Okay,
oh, he's still got it. But I don't know where the second copy is.
I don't have one copy of, I don't have a copy
I
of number
took
three.
mine out of my thing. I don't know where the second
have number
one is.
two.
Okay.
I need a number three. I don't have a number three, the one you just signed. I don't have that one.
I just got this out of my packet and I filled it out.
You know, I have an extra number.
No, I have it here. I'm just saying they need to do two and send one my way. That's all I'm saying.
I only have one. I took it out of my packet.
Here you go.
thank you.
Jesus Christ.
We need to sign that and we need to initial.
Yes,
or
both. I gave you each a packet. All these were in there on the table when you sat down. So there should have been 3 copies of these things up there at least.
The initial and sign. Or pay. There you go. All right, back to 2026-04. This is an additional appropriation for $563,000 for the remodel of Station 32 men's quarters. It also includes a striker power cot and a new ambulance. And the amounts on that, the remodel is $80,000. The striker power cot is $83,000, and the new ambulance is $400,000. All right. Everybody has an opinion about this. Eric?
I'm making, keeping your copy.
Just as a note, we had a remodel to Station 32 about 4 years ago, and another one about 6 years prior to that. I don't know what the square footage is on the men's bunk room, but $80,000 you could almost build a house for. That bunk room is probably about a third of this room. So again, we're doing things kind of backwards here. We're just approving numbers without any kind of bids or any kind of reviewing anything. So take a look at what you're approving and whether it needs to be done again. Again, you're remodeling a station that has less staffing now than it ever has in the past. So when we have a need for things, Why didn't we need this when we had more people here? We have less people here now than we did in the past, and we're remodeling the station. It's not just spend money to spend money. Are we doing the other two items here or just the station?
No, you can speak to the,
Power
striker
cot, you already have a
cot.
power cot, $83,000 power cot.
Yeah,
You already have one on an ambulance. So this is just being bought just to throw in a closet. That's a waste.
well, we have a backup ambulance. See, we're
Yeah,
buying.
you have
new
a backup
ambulance,
ambulance, which you never use. It
Well,
already has a cot on
but
it.
we're buying a new ambulance
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay,
as
so
part of this one.
how
Buying a new
much do you
ambulance.
think an ambulance costs?
This one says $400,000.
Do you know how much an ambulance costs?
No,
I can sell you one all day long. We can go on the internet right now and buy one for
Eric, just tell us what.
$200,000.
You got good points, you got great points, just say them to the board.
I'm just asking, quit wasting
Well, we
taxpayer
can't get
dollars.
this back and forth.
$400,000 for an ambulance. That's totally equipped with everything you could ever want. And there's no need to buy an $83,000 power cot for a reserve ambulance how many runs did the reserve ambulance make this year, Chief?
The reserve?
Yeah.
None.
None. No runs, and you're gonna spend $83,000 for it to sit and do no runs. That's wasting taxpayer dollars. Continue to do it as you are.
Okay, thank you. Jordan? Jordan leave?
You do like to work.
Chris?
Jordan left, he left me the paper, didn't go back to work. I can't speak intelligent to the ambulance, I never bought one. My guess is they probably need one. I would say, just do your homework, make sure they're getting what they need there and spend that money appropriately. What I have concerns about is the remodel and these quotes. I'm hoping there's more than one. The things that are concerning is epoxy the floor in the bunker room, bathroom, and locker room. Almost $19,000. They did the entire Mooresville firehouse for $12,000. That's the whole firehouse. This is only 3 rooms. Painting is $7,980 for the bunker room, restroom, and locker room. They did the entire Mooresville firehouse for $6,700. So I would think maybe we should get some more quotes before we just approve this $80,000. I don't think we need to spend that much.
Jessica Mills?
Pass.
Nancy?
Pass.
John Mullen? Denise?
No, thank you.
John?
Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it. I'm John Hast. I just recently moved to Madison Township. I am the remodeler that gave the bid on this. There's several things going on here. I understand what you're saying. I'm not Superman, I can't see through walls. I have to assume certain things. The plumbing's in the floor. I've got to cut a lot of that out. Move the shower, to add a toilet, to do different drainage things to it. That's part of the reason for the price. Okay? So there's more to it than just, probably need more detail in it than just some round numbers. That's probably the problem. Okay? There's more to it. Does that make sense? Anything else?
Appreciate that. Thank you, John.
No problem.
Tina?
I don't have a comment for this one.
Okay. Trudy?
like I said before, we're out of debt, we have the money. Station 32 is 26 years old, and it probably is past time for a remodel on it. So anyway, that's pretty much all I want to say. I do think it's needed. Now is a good time to get it done.
Thank you, Tree. Megan?
Hello. Two things. One, with the remodel, I would encourage, similar to trying to get the firehouse back open, reach out to the community, leverage the resources that are in the community. It can be painted for far less than that. So I think we need to try to think outside the box. Secondly, I do want to thank you guys for looking into getting a second ambulance. Because when I first started to come to these meetings, I was told by a board member that we didn't need an ambulance, and at most we might need one. So I really appreciate looking into having a second ambulance to service our area so that safety is the utmost importance. Thank you.
Thank you. Larry? You have anything? All right, board discussion on resolution 2026-04. Dawn, you have anything?
I'm trying to think here. On the discussion about the power cot and the new ambulance, I'm guessing it doesn't come with one automatically.
Right.
No, you have to get it installed.
Can I say
And-
something?
Yeah.
Answer that question. This is not just a power cot, it's also a power load system, and it's a power chair. So it's 3 different items on one
All right.
estimate.
I saw the stair thing, which I told you I think was a great thing to have
Yeah.
because
Sorry.
we need it. No, we do.
I will tell you, I know, my EMS captain was the one that's done a lot of the due diligence with this. I mean, I talked to the rep a couple times about price, roughly about the price. But I kind of let him do his thing with that. And yeah, we're trying to get the power load system and the power cot system and a electric or well, yeah, I guess battery powered stair chair as well. That has
Yeah.
the tracks that you just press a button and it gets somebody up and down.
Yeah.
As far as all the pertinence and all that stuff, I don't know all the design stuff and all the inner workings of that, but I do know roughly about the price and $400,000 for the specific ones that we were looking at is well, it's a little bit more than what it was, but it's in the ballpark. It's leaving, I don't even want to tell you. It was between 375 and I think it was 375 and some change. I think it ended up being over 380 after it's all said and done. So that leaves us a little bit of fluff as well too. But that's all I can intelligently speak to with that. Just the 3 items and rough estimate of the price.
How long would it take us to get that?
Do you remember what Troy said with that? Either of you guys? I think it can happen again this year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's a 60-day turnaround like what the engine was talked about, but I do believe it's in. I think they said last quarter of this year. Now that I'm trying to recollect, but it's still a fast turnaround.
Is that it, Tom?
Yep.
Matthew?
For the remodel, and I think it's true that we are going off of one quote. For the striker, there's no quote. I read an email from the trustee saying the amount would be $83,849, which is more than what we're asking for. The cheaper price was based on a promo that ended yesterday. So the striker, the only accurate or up-to-date number is $83,849, which shows that we're negative 1% and we're under $849 on what's being requested. And that's just off of just one email and a flyer. We don't have any quotes for the striker. To the board, I think that we're able to appropriate less, but not more. So I would take the striker off of this until I can see a quote, if I am to consider myself
It's still
voting for
the
this
same
group.
fund. It's out of the same fund.
Same fund, but the quotes and the amount of money and the shopping and the planning into this, they're asking for less money than what was given to us on a email. So that's a concern. Unless there's a more accurate number, less than $80,000 or 83,000, I guess.
Well, I guess I'm a little confused. You said you didn't get a number, but you're quoting a number.
You sent an email with just like you typed up stuff with them, you misspelled your name
No, I
and
sent-
also some
no.
other stuff in there. And in that email, you said it would be $83,849.
I also sent the whole thing.
But then the
I'm
other
not gonna
thing
argue
that
with you.
we're in a conversation,
I know. And we're not
and in
gonna
this
argue.
conversation, you can listen, is that the email that was sent, it was a flyer with a promo that said, if you buy this with 3 payments, which sounds like a loan to me, or a payoff thing, if you did it in 3 payments, then it would be right under that 83,000, but that date was up yesterday.
Yes.
So the real price, the only price that I have is not a quote. If you send it and don't spell things right, it's $83,849, and that is more than what you're requesting. Is there another number I'm mistaken on, or is that what I'm going off of?
That's what we're currently going off. I
Okay.
will tell you, well, let me finish.
Okay.
Anything that goes over this on that particular item will either be taken out of the EMS fund or out of the Q fund. When we have money in the EMS fund, we're allowed to spend it. Okay? It's in the budget.
We don't have a fund, we call EMS.
Right.
Well, fire and EMS. We have the funding there. So, and we will get an update to price before we purchase anything anyway.
Okay. So, as somebody trying to approve budgets and such, the numbers aren't accurate that I have so far. Maybe an actual quote would tell us how much a striker would cost. So I won't be voting for that, if I make a motion, because it doesn't sound like there's a more accurate number out there to consider. As far as the remodel, that is just one quote to go off of, and ambulances, it does seem within reason on that price. So it gives us a good, on the ambulance, we would have about 15,000 to work with, but from what I'm seeing, it kind of goes along with what Chief had mentioned, it's under that for an ambulance. We'd have about -1% to work with on the striker, and the estimate really is just based off of one. So that's what I'm going off of. And that's all I have for now.
Yeah, I see your points on the striker. I would like to, get an estimate or more and get that resolved as soon as possible, because I do feel that if we're gonna have a backup ambulance, I'd like to see it fully functional and ready to go, and that includes a load system, to save the backs of these paramedics. And in the big scheme of things, for $80-some thousand, seems like a good investment to me to make it totally functional and usable. These people, they, use the old conventional beds things. There's a lot of injuries involved with paramedics trying to load heavy people. They go out on call, they never know how big somebody's going to be and all that. So I would like to see that resolved and added to the ambulance.
Did we miss something on getting something from Stryker on that?
You understand that?
To be frank with you, I'm imagining so, maybe.
What's the question?
Getting the exact stuff with, I'm not trying to pass the buck here, but I didn't have a whole lot to do
There's a
with
lot
that
going on.
specific, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish my EMS guy was here tonight, but it's all right. The stuff with Stryker, like the numbers and all that stuff that came, did that come from the Stryker people, or did that come from Troy?
Came from Stryker.
Stryker?
There's only one brand. You're not gonna get it anywhere else.
Yeah, but Stryker has not given us an actual quote, right?
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah, see, we need quotes to work off of here.
I mean, we had the ambulance thing and, the remodeling thing,
We're
but
doing
nothing on
a,
the power cot.
clarify the account numbers. For the remodel, A, is A the correct classification for that? Because I think the public notice put all of this under 4B instead of 4A.
If you look at the budgets under CUME fund,
Because I think the resolution's correct. I just wanted to see the public notice. I think it said all of it was going to be in B.
I'm so sorry. I'm scrolling through here. I was trying to see if I could help with this. If you go to page 22 of the ambulance quote, well, I don't think it's got the price on there, but it is mentioned in that quote. Maybe that's where the lost in translation came from. Because it says, WC Striker Performance Power Load, add floor structure plates and wiring, cut floor for cot mount floor plate. So it's at least in there.
That's the prep work to install.
It's just the prep work. That's what I was trying to go through and look and see if it had it incorporated in there.
so the public notice
Page 22.
Sorry.
did have 563,000 saying CUME fund vehicles and equipment account 4B. This is how it was in the paper, this is how it was on the DLGF.
Okay.
But
A is where the remodel should go, right?
yes, so
And B for
it came up with
the,
the resolution after the fact, and I said, Larry, we should put that in A. And I
Okay.
didn't realize that was specifically only B, so that is probably my mistake, but that is the appropriate place where we would take it from.
I thought the resolution that we're looking at is good to go. I
So
just wanted to make sure that it really is.
I don't know if
right
that's just a technicality that DLGF would like say, well, it's still CUME fund for, capital outlays. But I don't know, but we did not advertise exactly the way the resolution's written, so
But what
yes,
we'll submit and what we have here is good to go.
I guess so.
It looks right.
Have a motion for this resolution.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I make a motion to accept minus the 83,000 until we can have an actual quote to consider.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 3-0.
Can I add something here real quick?
Pardon me?
I'm gonna add something here real quick on that. You've eliminated the 83,000 for the power cot. That will have to come up as another additional appropriation later. We can't
Yeah.
just say.
Yeah, based on actual
Just so we're all
quotes.
clear.
Yeah, and I was gonna
Yeah, we want to
say,
see real numbers to do
as soon
that.
as you can get that quote and everything, we can
Right.
schedule another meeting.
Can I just add that since you made changes, make sure you write the changes in this right-hand column and do a new total. And then the other two that you signed, you didn't actually write the amounts in, so you really need to do that
Okay,
in that other
and
column.
for the others, it really is just copying the numbers over.
Yes,
But
as
for
far as I
this,
understand.
be more.
Yeah, do you want me to give you a total on
Well,
that, or do you
We
want me?
didn't want to
We're
copy
not
of that. I'm
additionally-
about half brain
There
dead.
is no additional amount approved.
So you would write 0 next to this and the actual amounts, like 80, 400, and 0, if I understand correctly. So we have approved $0 for that one.
There's not additional.
Correct. So additional amount of question, well, they are, they're additional to what we're doing, we're appropriating that much. So if they
So-
additionally ask for this much, we additionally get approved that. So I agree with that, take it.
So the amount you agreed to appropriate is 480,000, 80,000 plus 400,000. Do you need a second copy?
I agree, yes. No, I haven't.
Okay.
I think I gave mine.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
That goes to Dawn.
This one's the 480.
So CUME fund is the only one of these funds that we have broken out beyond capital improvements. And I didn't realize that until I was looking in the budget to make sure I got the right numbers on this form.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
and
because like every other
As long
fire,
as-
EMS, and township, we don't have these broken out like that.
as long as what we're signing, this one's the right one, I just in case somebody is out there having a thought.
Yeah, they
Just
might
what-
disqualify me. not to
What
do
we're
it.
seeing is the right thing. What we're signing is the right.
The amount of money is correct.
No, because we're writing in the numbers. All right, so we have this ready. We'll get you the other one.
Great.
And it's a sign and pass.
We have to initial that new amount or anything?
No, because we're filling out the form, not making a change,
Okay,
is my understanding.
yeah, good.
And we need to do that to the other forms.
We can do that
Good
after
one.
we adjourn.
Okay.
Almost.
You're good.
This is yours. This is yours. We're winding down, folks.
Already?
Stevie, status regarding the new employee policy handbook.
They're done. They've been done for a while. I've sent them out to the employees to, start going over them, review, and sign that they've acknowledged it. Obviously, I wanted to talk to you guys about any more input you guys have for it before it is 100% implemented. But the employees do have them. They have signed the acknowledgement. And I was supposed to send them to you guys in, I believe, March, and I sent them to you guys in May.
I sent mine back. Did you get mine?
I don't.
I gave it to Larry.
Okay, I'll talk to Larry about it. But, I mean, they are ready to go, so.
Then they're not, cause you haven't seen mine.
Okay. I'll talk
Fair
to-
warning.
Okay.
No, they're not.
If it's anything with the formatting, the way it condensed into the PDF, if it's formatting, it's
Wording.
PDF, wording.
Terms
Okay.
Thanks,
and a
Steve.
couple other things.
Oh. Larry, you have a status regarding Tina Quinlan's water drainage problem?
Yes, I gave you guys some
Yeah,
information there. John Hast has been one of the individuals that's gone out and looked at our problem for us. And he has also talked to Mr. Holloway on our behalf, since I was not getting any results. And what we've got right now is Mr. Holloway has done a new drawing for us, and you can see that right there. The station is there. The orange line is where the new drainage is proposed. The blue line is where the existing drainage is. There is one difficulty with this. We now have CenterPoint Energy wanting an easement where we want to put the drainage. So I contacted CenterPoint Energy. They have alerted their engineering department to find out what they can come up with. Once they come up with a final for me, then I will contact Holloway and get a new plan. So that's where we're at on it. I did send an email to Ms. Quinlan describing just that.
Good.
So that's where we're on that.
So we don't, as a board or anything, we don't have to vote on anything to do with this.
No, this is just kind of an update to let you know where we're at.
Is that a heck of a lot of property they want to take for that
Yes.
easement?
It's 15 foot from the property line and then 20 foot wide.
It's the whole L shape
Yeah.
of that
Goes
property.
down the north side,
It's a lot.
east, the west
I
side,
would
and
not
down
be
the south
happy.
side.
I would not be happy at all.
The only side that doesn't go down is the east side.
Let them go across somebody else's yard.
The good news is, somewhat good news is they will compensate us for the easement. And in my thinking, that we could take money from the easement to pay for some of the drainage. That's something we look
Depending
at
on
down.
what they come up with.
Yeah, that's something we look at down
That's
the
the
road.
problem.
All right. Determination announcement of the next meeting date. Does anybody happen to know what that is? I forgot to write that in. Got it. I thought I had it in here.
So we're gonna have to do another
We will
public
probably have.
notice and
September
things like
30th.
that,
Okay.
right?
So I believe the next scheduled one, as of now, is September 30th. But
That would be a budget review, right?
at that point.
Yeah,
But with
But
that
we need
striker
the
situation, I
appropriation
assume
thing.
that we'll be seeing each other before then.
so how many weeks for you to publish it and to schedule another meeting
We
to
need,
do that?
Has to be in the paper for 10 days. Also, by that time,
we need 2 weeks
hopefully,
on the DLGF before we can do another appropriation meeting. So we don't, it's not really based on the paper anymore. It's needs to put it to DLGF.
Because that takes the longest time.
Now, once we have it, we can put it up there. And
Okay.
then we have 2 weeks to put it.
Got a motion to adjourn?
well, can I say something before you do? In regards to this?
Hold on.
There's a
Oh,
whole
yeah, yeah.
backside,
One,
there's a backside too, left.
backside.
Let me say this in regards to this also. At some point, we will need to have a meeting to determine if we're actually gonna let them have the easement. That will have to be approved by the board.
Okay.
Well, do you want to set,
I'm not gonna authorize an easement without the board.
Okay.
do you want to set a tentative meeting for
Not yet.
the next appropriation or anything? I mean, just
Probably
tentatively.
would need to.
Hopefully they'll do both, the easement thing and
This is July 1st. I'd say somewhere around August 1st is what I mean, I guess, get a sample time. Because it'll take up to 15 days to hear back on this. Then we'll have to do another advertisement. You've chewed up
take one step at a time.
20, 25 days right there.
Get a quote, go from there.
End of August. Fair?
The 5th of August is the first Wednesday. That's the first day of school.
You want to do it maybe a Tuesday night? Or Monday night?
I think you might be running up to Old Settlers will end on the 2nd, never mind.
So anyway, don't adjourn yet, and this is part of my agenda.
It's just the backside, it's double
It's on
sided.
the back? Oh, okay. Let me turn that over because we got public comment. Gets another shot
I
at it.
didn't know anything. I didn't,
Sorry about that, folks. Public comment. Give me my sheet back, please.
Did you pick out a date?
We did not.
oh, sorry. Well, that's what I was trying to get. Like, if the first day of school or whatever, you know, I don't know how big of an issue.
List, public
The,
comment list.
oh, the public.
Sign
We're
sheet.
still talking about a tentative date for the next meeting.
I thought that's done.
We
No.
have the date of what we had scheduled. Now we're trying to schedule, where we can reconsider the striker and then potentially
We
the.
can reach out to
I mean,
each other.
Yeah,
I don't care. If you want to do the 5th, that's fine.
if it would be easier to do the Tuesday, I'm open on that. If
No,
it's
I think
before, or, well, the first day of school's back at 5, so that's gonna be bad that night too.
Is that your first day of school back too?
No. A little bit longer.
I'd say the 5th.
You know you can get the quote then?
Here's my suggestion. We're gonna find out from the DHLF whether appropriations are approved or not. Once we do that, then let's set a date.
Okay. I'd hate to have us have a date and then still need to move it around, right?
Because we still have to get bids for
Yeah.
these things, and then you guys have to approve the bids to spend the money.
That's my preference, that we don't set a
Bids.
day right now, but
What?
we have,
Bids?
once they
No.
get the appropriation approved.
Once the
Or,
appropriation is approved on the remodel, we will have to get bids. There are other bids that we will have to get. But once that appropriation is done, then we can move forward on the additional appropriation.
But you're talking about just on the renovations, not on everything else.
There's gonna be other places where you have to get bids, but what I'm saying is, once we get the appropriation approved,
from DGL, from DLGF.
then we can set another date. In the meantime, we'll get a quote from Stryker.
All right, I don't care. I just figured it'd be better to have something else. But if you wanna wait for DGL to get back, we'll go from then and see if we're all available then.
They may come back in less than 15 days also.
All right, so we're at who's getting that form for the public comment? Who signed up?
Oh,
Sign up.
That's it.
Eric Brown's first on the list, I remember that.
Yeah,
Get on
Eric
up there,
Brown's
Eric,
first.
just because me and you.
Eric Brown. No, it's right here.
Just wrap this up, guys. Just for you folks and the folks who are watching at home, just remind you guys, you're elected to represent the taxpayers of Madison Township, correct? 90% of those taxpayers that was here tonight told you their concerns about rapidly spending this money at the end of the year, and you went totally against all the recommendations that they gave you. You recognize that? As the elected officials, you went against your taxpayers tonight on every decision you made. Just want to point that out for everyone that's listening at home. Hope we see some new faces next year.
Mine won't be here. So there you go.
We don't mind.
There's
Well,
one.
Jordan left. Chris Mills.
Just a couple final thoughts. So we approved everything, which, you know, I said from the beginning, I don't disagree these guys need this stuff. I just hope we buy the right stuff. You know, if it's 400,000 or 410,000, let's spend the extra 10,000 to get them. Same thing with the engine. If we need to spend $1.5 million, let's spend $1.5 million. I'm not against these guys having the right things, but I think we need to work with these vendors. You know, Stryker, their warehouse is at 39 and I-70. I just bought some stuff from them. Guess what? They gave me a heck of a deal because they're in my back door. Work with them. You know, I don't know why all of a sudden the rush to do this. Most of the stuff we needed for a while. You know, we had FDIC here about 3 months ago. You probably could have got a heck of a deal on air packs there. I know that because I just bought a brand new gear washer and dryer. Guess what? I bought it at FDIC and I saved about $8,000 by buying it there. So now all of a sudden we're in a rush. We're probably going to pay more for it than we should. Another thing is we need to be looking for some grants. I just funded a whole bunch of projects with grant money. I don't know why we're not doing that. Okay. And another easy fix that would have been for all this, probably should have kept that debt service fund. That debt service fund would have gave us a brand new fire truck that we could have rolled over. I don't know about all the rest of the taxpayers in this room, but you know what that saved me this year on my tax bill by not rolling that over? Yeah. About $29.23 is what it saved me.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just donate that back to the department for that new fire truck.
Thank you. Jessica Mills. Nancy.
Pass.
John. Denise.
Couple of things, just to kind of touch up on some of the meetings, some of us back there couldn't hear you guys clearly. I'm not sure if the residents were approved for resolution 1, but if they were not, or I'm sorry, the renters pay the mortgage, which in turn pays the taxes. So hopefully they were included. Again, I couldn't hear. Also, I think that one got voted on 3 times. So I'm hoping there's clear record of all the different voting that went on. Again, if that happened, because some of us couldn't hear back there. Let's see. I truly hope our apparatus and equipment is solely left with the professionals to make those decisions and not what people think. And the other thing, we keep hearing about how we're out of debt. There's 10,000 people here. Only a small handful are worried about this no debt thing. So again, Eric said, you're here for the taxpayers and you're not doing that.
John. Sorry. Tina?
I didn't comment about the first resolution because I wasn't really thinking about residents versus taxpayers. And I did raise my hand during some of your discussion, and you don't look at me to call on me. But residents, if they live here, but they're not taxpayers because they're not owners of property, they're renting property. And I guarantee you, into the rent is based property tax rates. And I'm finding that more and more landlords for these people that rent are not local taxpayers. They are owned by LLCs, corporations that are out of state, maybe even out of country. And those taxpayers are not going to come to our meeting and give any input to us. So really residents should be included. Also, I didn't even think about what Jordan was saying, but yes, we do get a lot of LIT money that may be going away with SB1, SEA1, limiting LIT going towards property tax offsets. But right now, yes, we are funded by LIT, local income tax, and everyone who lives in Morgan County pays local income tax if they're employed. So they are also taxpayers funding our township. So those are 2 points. Also, I just want to bring up that I think there might be a conflict of interest right now. We have a MadisonTownship.org website, and a board member currently has control of the content of that website. She originally had that control because she was a volunteer that was website design and could volunteer to do that. Well, now as a sitting board member, I feel, censors information. Like, I do think that townships are subject to the Indiana open door law because the paper made a request and it says I have to give the meeting notices and documents from the meetings. So if we do that for the paper, I think we should do it for residents. And I think there's no reason, if we have these documents and give them to the paper 2 days in advance, well, you can't just post those on our website that we have. I really believe that we are bound to the open door law, posting documents on our website, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, thank you. Trudy?
I'm done with the website today.
And I just want to say thank you. I know it's a lot of papers to analyze and go through and sort and everything, and it's your time, and I just want to say thank you to the board for what you do.
Thanks, Trudy. Megan?
I just have one last comment about the residents and taxpayers. To serve on the board, you do not have to be a taxpayer, you merely have to be a resident. So I feel like we need to include more people, even if they have a differing opinion, even if they might want something different than someone that's on the board wants. I think we need to accept and honor all different opinions. Because also, when you call 911, they're not gonna be like, press 1 if you're a resident, press 2 if you're a taxpayer. Or at least I hope they don't, because our whole goal here is we do fire safety and we service our entire community regardless of their status. Lastly, I want to thank the fire department for putting on that festival. It was a really nice way for our community to come together. And I very much appreciated seeing some of our leadership. I was sad to not see some of our leadership there, but I was very glad to see some of our leaders there and interacting with the public, because that's how we share the information. And so I hope that this next term, we can continue that and we can have politicians that show up, because you guys speak for us. We can't, all the residents can't sit on the board. So we elect you guys into that position, and I just really appreciate the ones that gave time back to the community, because that means something. It means something for the little kids to see the firefighters. I have 2 of my 4 kids are now ready to be a firefighter because of Sabrina. We have been dressing up and doing all the things to be the female firefighter who let us see the stuff. So please don't lose track of what you guys are doing and what your purpose is, because it's for the community as a whole, not for individual interests. Thank you.
Larry, do you have anything
Yes,
else?
I just want to say, to a certain degree, I agree with Megan. I think all residents should have a say. And one of the reasons why I said it, when we talk about rental properties, those people still depend on us. And to say that they're not taxpayers is kind of not really true, because the people who are renting those houses out are paying taxes. And if you have a rental unit, you pay more in property taxes than if you own your home. So, in my opinion, I think that all residents should be allowed to speak.
Board, you have any comments?
I do have a comment. I have been maintaining the website as a volunteer for the trustee's office. I will certainly relinquish whatever to whomever immediately, because I give information, or that Tina gives me information that she deems as the open law. And I come back with her, she doesn't like that. But there's certain documentation that, if I'm told not to put it on there, I'm not going to. And I communicate that to her. But I am done with that. I will no longer maintain that website. So I also want to say, from a personal level, I ended up having to call 911 for my husband, and the ambulance service and the engine came, and I just want to say I do appreciate that they came and helped. So again, thank you.
Matthew?
I've sat here with meetings that went a lot less than 3 hours with a lot less order during those meetings. So I appreciate everybody who's had patience tonight and not throwing tomatoes at us physically, but I appreciate your patience.
And I don't have anything, so motion to adjourn.
Yes, I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll say that. All fair say aye. Adjourn. You can have this back now.
Can we fix
We need to
these?
fill out those.
Yes.
Not a rest break, it's more important for me.
That one crazy. Oh, yeah. Or the city.
What?
So we did it after that 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. I thought you knew that. No, I didn't.
You take care of donation.